Welcome to Live and in Person. My name is Scott Smith, and tonight we have domestic collectors with us. I am sending you an invite to pop up and speak. See if you can get that to work for you. But welcome everybody. Please retweet the space, share with your communities. Let's get some people in here and learn a little bit about domestic collectors.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. It's 3 a.m. in the night here in Sweden, and I'm super stoked to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me. I tried this on my phone
Wow.
instead, and I got the microphone to work. So, thank you for the patience.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, let's everyone retweet the room. Let's get more people in here, and we're gonna get started here in a second. But man, that is impressive. 3 a.m. for you.
Yeah, I actually managed
Wow.
to squeeze in a couple hours of sleep actually before this, so I felt good.
Well, that's good. Uh, well, hopefully, we'll keep it to an hour and get all the information in we can and go from there. So yeah, well, my name is Scott. Welcome to Live and in Person. We do these spaces every Thursday night, bringing new projects in to just share what they're building and what they're working on, allowing the people that are listening and the people that will be listening to figure out if it's something they want to take a look at themselves and personally invest in. But why don't we start off with introductions? What's your name and how did you get into crypto?
Uh, so funny story actually. My name is Simon, and like a couple of years ago, I was just basically scrolling through TikTok. By the time that was kind of new, and I actually just saw a video of Safe Moon. I don't know if you've heard about it. Maybe you have.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know that many people that haven't heard of Safe Moon.
Okay. Okay. So I was actually one of the very early investors of SafeMoon. So I saw a video about it and I thought it sounded really interesting. So I basically just followed the guide on how to buy it without actually having no idea what I was doing. And I managed to buy a couple of thousand safe moons, and that went really well. And I got the taste of crypto, and I learned a lot. I read everything, I watched every video. I wanted to know like exactly how everything works, like what do you need to know like to be extra careful, how do you like avoid being rug pulled. Like I read everything because I wanted to know like exactly what I was doing. So SafeMoon was actually the first crypto and that I got into, and the reason why I found interest in it. um yeah, so that's probably it. I think I've been in it for like 3 years now. Like what about you? How long have you
Oh,
been within
geez.
this industry?
So, so, yeah, I mean, I first heard about crypto with Bitcoin. It was back in 2009. I had the opportunity to buy it at like 38, 39 cents, something like that.
Oh,
It was crazy cheap.
yeah.
And I was like, I really should do this. I should buy this. But then I couldn't wrap my head around, how it was, any kind of investment vessel or anything like that. So I like kind of refrained from buying. And then, I kind of sat on the sidelines for a few years and then finally jumped in with, just traditional blue chip trading and eventually worked my way into DeFi. And yeah, this is my second bear market. so, so I've been here before. I know what it means. I know that people that accumulate during this time are the ones that you hear news stories about as far as when the market goes green again. And I'm hoping to be one of them, right? I think we all are.
Yeah,
But
for
you
sure.
know what one of the things that you said there, Simon, that I totally relate to is I knew nothing. I kind of jumped in because a friend of mine, actually, an employee was sharing, and I kept asking, well, what is it? How is it worth anything? And they couldn't give me any kind of straight answer, but they were making money off of it, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to jump in. And I jumped in. And once I did, and, just diluted myself with crypto, I started doing what you did. I researched and I watched as many videos as I could. I read as much as I could on it. I learned about everything that I was investing in. And, I taught myself, what to look for and, the different strategies there are and, how to read charts and to work that angle. And I just evolved, and I think even to this day I'm consistently trying to learn something new and educate myself and evolve, right? Because the space is evolving. We're extremely early. I know you're looking at 2009 when things really kicked off, but they didn't really kick off, right? It took a little while, and then jump ahead a decade and it's a totally different animal, and then jump ahead even more, 5 more years, and now here we are, after a massive bull run a year ago to where we sit now in the midst of, I forget who said it, but they called it a builder's market. And I prefer that term much more than a bear market, because really I look at it as everything is on sale. It's Black Friday in crypto, and even in traditional stocks, it's Black Friday, right? Everything is dirt cheap right now, and the turnaround here is anything that you're buying now is going to most likely go up, provided you do your due diligence, you do your research, you make sure you're investing in sound and solid projects, which is what we like to do is try to share as many of those as we can. And, we're glad that you were able to join us tonight, Simon.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having us. As I mentioned before, we think it's really really fun to just like share our project and tell the world about it. So thank you so much. And I totally agree with like um you're actually whatever you're buying now is going to be on sale. And I used to work as like a private advisor within banking before, and during these like tougher times, I always told my customers to keep doing those monthly savings, because even if the stock market is going down, you're buying your shares, your funds, or whatever, you're buying them on sale, and you have more funds, more stocks that's going to be joining on the way up when it's actually turning around again. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I think those are
DCA.
great points by you. Yeah,
Yeah, dollar cost average, right?
yep,
You
yeah,
know, um,
100%.
e- yeah, even if you bought it at the top, when Ethereum was, $4,000 plus, right? Buying it now, you're buying it, at a third or a quarter of what it was when you possibly got in. So you're essentially getting it on sale. It will eventually make its way back at some point. We just don't know when. Just like your traditional stocks. I mean, I know my portfolio looks pretty meek right now, but I'm continuing to stick with my investment strategy, and at some point when things turn around, it will pay off. I mean, as far as stocks go, a good example of that was the 2008 uh, what is it, housing crisis,
Yep,
right? It
was.
like crashed everything, and within a year, people that invested at the bottom there were making bank. So, and it's just a good strategy. But anyway,
Yeah,
uh, let's talk about DMC.
yeah. Let's.
So how, well, first, why did you feel there was a need for this project or this type of project in this space?
Yeah. Um. All right. So I can just give like a very short, like brief introduction. So I'm like the CMO of Domestic Collectors. So I take care of like the marketing space and also like our partnerships. and then we have our three developers, which we might come into later. And like all of us has been in the um, crypto space for a while, and we also have been playing a lot of like computer games. We have also been playing play to earn games, and what we all felt like in common was that there are an extreme amount of play to earn games. However, like for us who have like no patience at all, that's one thing we have in common. We feel that they are extremely like time consuming. Um, takes a lot of your time. You need to put in a lot of effort. You need to be playing like actively for hours per day. And we felt that okay, so we have within our little group here, we have the skills to actually build something of our own that is not time consuming. That's that's like low effort. You don't need to spend like hours every day to be able to earn money, to be able to like develop. You can play for like as long as you want, and you still will have time to like do the rest of the things that you want to do in life, if it's working out, hanging out with your friends, watching movies, playing games, or whatever. So like our goal has always been to have like a low effort game with a lot of strategy. um so that's what we felt like is missing within this space basically.
Nice. So the tell us a little bit about the game. It looks like it's a card-based game.
Yeah, so all of us were in that phase when like the Pokemon cards were around. So we're a little bit older. I have to mention that. Um, so we were young within that era. So what the game is that you are buying NFT workers. So these workers are actually NFTs on the blockchain. So all the transactions that you do with your workers are handled by the smart contract, which makes it very safe and fast and easy. So you buy these different characters, as we call them, workers. They all have different designs. They all have different stats and like perks and working time. So you basically just get your workers, and you get the worker that suits your lifestyle best. You send it off to work, and the worker is gonna earn DMP, which is short for domestic points. For example, when a worker has worked for 1 hour, it comes back, and you will collect the salary, which is DMP. And this DMP you can use to upgrade your characters, your workers, so that they are gonna earn more amount of DMP in that working time. So you're basically leveling them up to be better. And you can buy them from our shop, or you can buy them from the auction page, which is actually a page where you buy them from other players, and you can sell your workers to other players. So either you get them from like level 0 from the shop, or from the auction at a higher level. And these workers, you can get them in different rarities as well. So there's 4 different rarities: common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And if you get an epic, for example, if you get lucky enough to get your hands on those, there's a 3% drop chance. You will get like salary bonus. For example, for the epic, it's 20%. So if you get an epic one, you're basically gonna earn more DMP.
Okay.
Uh,
So
so that's short. Sorry, I'm Swedish, so I need to take a little snooze change here.
all good, all good.
um, yes, so that's basically like the short introduction to it. And what we actually do also uh, is that for everyone, when you're buying workers, uh, 92% of that price. So, for example, if the worker costs 1,000 DMC, 92% of that will go straight to the reward pool, which we distribute to our players once per week every Sunday. Um, and like the more DMP you have earned, the more you will, like the bigger piece of the reward pool you will get. So it's basically that simple. So it's just pressing a button, sending them off to work, wait until they get back, and then send them out again, and keep like leveling them up. And yeah, so that's a short description. And what we have also done, that was actually just 1 week ago, and we have worked a lot with this feature, and we are really proud to have it live. Um, you have probably like played other card games or other like just computer games where you have like these skill trees, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
Yes. So we have implemented talents that you can add to your workers. So in this first version that we added, you can either get salary boosts for all your workers so that they will earn more DMP, or you can have reduced working time so that, for example, if you have 1 hour time workers, you can reduce the working time by 10% so that they will come back faster. And we also have like a work maximum worker cap, which is 60. So you can have 60 active workers per time. And with this talent, you can also add an additional worker slot so that you can have 61 workers instead of 60. And we're going to keep adding more features to this talents. And we are listening very much actually to our communities. We read through the suggestion page in our Discord. So we have actually received a lot of um, great ideas. So we'll see what the next talent will be.
All right. So I just a quick clarification. So like if you acquire the, reduction in work time, that is kind of like an in-game purchase, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yep. All right. And then my other question here on this, well, let's hold off on that question. Let's go back and talk about your token because you guys are on the Binance network
Yes, that's
and
correct.
you have a token that looks like we've got a reward pool that 7% of your tokenomics goes to the reward pool, 3% to liquidity, 3% to development. Tell us a little bit about the token.
Yes. So we have like for the tokenomics part, when we started this project, we had 5% going to the reward pool, 5% going to the liquidity pool, and then 3% to development. And now that we have been around for a while, and we have actually built up quite a nice liquidity pool. We have like 175K in the liquidity pool. So we felt like, okay, we don't need to like increase that as much anymore. So we actually switched around the tokenomics a little bit to get some more focus on the reward pool. So we increased that to 7% and then lowered liquidity pool to 3%. And a lot of course, our community were very, very happy about that, and we feel that it was like a good and important step for us to take. So we are, as you said, on the Binance chain, and we are listed on a lot of different sites, like for example, of course, CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. You can see us at crypto.com. We have been trending there a couple times. Um, and we're available. You can buy it on PancakeSwap for the moment. We can talk about like the future in a bit. Um, Something else that you want to know, like about the token specifically?
Yeah, so is there any any utility to the token other than the feeding the liquidity pool and the rewards pool? Um,
Very good question. So, one thing that we have in our roadmap, which is gonna be good for two different reasons for our players and investors. So, like one thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna implement staking, which I'm sure that a lot of our players have experience in. So, first of all, with staking, you're gonna be able to stake your DMC, and we're gonna be able to give a very high APY, so a very high interest that you will earn for actually staking your DMC. And besides that, since this is a play to earn game, we're also going to be able to give perks within the game. So, for example, if you are staking your DMC, we are going to be able to give your workers different perks. For example, maybe salary boosts or reduced working time, or basically whatever what is possible. So that's the plan that we have. So both like high API and also give you some sort of reward in game for actually staking. So
Yeah.
that's what's next up for the token.
So I did notice that you did burn a large portion of your total supply right off the bat, or maybe not off the bat, but over the time that you guys have been around.
Yep.
Um, Tell us a little bit about that, and how that came about. Did you do it at launch, pre-launch, or have you done it since you've launched?
Yep, very good question. So we have actually done that in I think it's 3 or 4 steps. So I think we have been burning like 100 million tokens, then 100 million again, and then 200, and just now I think it was 1st of January we burned 500 million tokens. Um, so we feel that we are in a good place now with like the market cap. It's sitting at around 600K, I think. And as I mentioned, the liquidity pool 174K. So we think that that's a very good ratio, and at the moment, so we're very happy about that. And then we have, I think, around 30 million saved for, well, like mostly it's for the staking, and maybe if we do some other feature that we're gonna need DMC for. So we're not looking to burn the remaining ones, or we're gonna use it to future features, basically. So this has been done. We launched at August 28th, so we have been doing it in different portions for during that time.
Nice. And you started with a 1 billion supply, right?
Yep, that's right.
And you burnt what, like 90%, 80%?
95% roughly, I think.
Yeah,
96.
that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. So, all right. So we have a token, we have the game, and you have to buy the NFTs, right, to play the game. Correct?
You actually can start to play the game for free, because when you connect your wallet the first time, you will actually receive a worker that's called the domester, which you can see like as yourself. It doesn't have like a design as the other workers, so it's basically just yourself. So you can actually send the domester to work as soon as you connect your wallet, so you can get like a feel about the game, how it works. If you want to click around, you can watch the shop, you can watch the auction, like the high scores, the leagues. You can see all of that without be having to actually buy a worker as soon as you log in, basically. So you can start for free if you want.
Okay, nice. So my next question is, how are you planning on sustaining this long term?
Yeah.
You're talking about, people are getting these NFTs or sending them off to earn in-game tokens that they can upgrade to earn more tokens. And then I'm guessing those tokens can be transferred to your native token, right?
Yes. That's
And
yeah.
to and they can cash out. So in order to do that, and then as well as a staking platform, you have to have a means of revenue to sustain that over a period of time.
Yep.
What is your plan for that?
Yep. And like that is one of the biggest challenges for the play to earn games, I would say, to get the finance to works, and like the whole economy of the game to work. And we believe like we can't only rely on like having to have new players join all the time. There needs to be other sources of income to the reward pool. um, so we are actually looking for like advertisers, or partnerships or sponsors that can actually add revenue to the reward pool, so it's not only built on having to have new players, because that is not sustainable in the long run. And the ones that you see that have been around for a very long time, they have succeeded to get like these partners or sponsors or like advertisers to feed up the reward pool. And I also, not me, but like we also believe that as a new player, you have to feel that you have a chance to actually like catch up with the people that have been playing for a while. Of course, it's still crypto, so the ones that get in early, of course, they're always going to have a perk. But it's for us, it's important to make it like feel doable to actually join in now, even though it's been a couple months. So, what we will do to make it a little bit easier, because we have these different seasons, and now we're sitting at the current season 2. For example, when season 3 comes, we probably will actually boost those workers. So the workers bought in season 3 will have some sort of salary boost. So the people coming in later will actually have a chance to like catch up in a little faster pace, which we believe is important, to be sustainable in the long run as well. Um, and we actually have, like how the reward pool works also is that you need to have at least, before it was $2 worth of DMP to get your payout. If you had less than that, your DMP would be saved for next week's reward pool instead. So they wouldn't be gone. They will just be saved for next week. So what we did is that we lowered this amount to $1 worth of DMP, so it will be easier um, to get a piece of it basically, and the amount of DMP needed to get payout will be lowered. That will also give newer player a better chance to get a piece of it basically. Um, so that's what we feel, and we're also looking at like different ways to distribute this reward pool. Maybe have different like leagues. So for example, if you're in the lower section, you always the lower section of the leagues will be guaranteed a certain percentage of the reward pool, just so that you like always have a chance. So we're looking at different ways for making this as sustainable and like fair, to everyone basically.
Nice. All right. So the NFTs or the characters that you have in the game, uh, who who created them? What was the inspiration behind them? Because they look kind of like almost like goblins or I don't know. I'm not sure what you would call them.
No, but I think that's like that's a good character name, I would say. No, so when we started this, we actually had like this free to use art, which like all of our players really liked them, but they were very basic, and we felt like, okay, we want to have like a theme, like something, a red thread going through this whole project, like this whole design, all the workers, the website, everything. So we actually found a guy super talented. His name is Andrea, and he's been working actually as a designer for Halo, which I'm sure you've heard about before, the game.
No, absolutely. Who hasn't,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. No, so he's really talented. So basically, all everything you see on the website, the workers, um, he made the design for that, and like we had a partner also, helping us with like marketing and the communities and everything. So we actually sat like, I think we were about that time like 8 9 people, and just threw around different options, different names for the workers, and Andrea just gave us a couple of um, ideas, threw them around. We were like just yeah, doing some some testing, just see, brainstorming. So we ended up feeling that these were the characters that everyone really liked, and like they're a little demony, but they're still kind of like cute. So I think they will like apply to many people's like taste, or what you would say. So we're really happy with them. They look cool. You can do so much stuff with like this theme. You can add bosses, raids, or like bigger demons or whatever. So we feel like we can work a lot with these characters, and we're really happy with them. And we
Nice.
actually released them like a month ago. Like the whole redesign was released 1 month ago, and it's been received very good by our audience and our community, and they're really happy about it.
No, that's cool, and you're right. I mean, they do have kind of a resemblance to, Pokemon.
Yeah.
As far as when you buy the NFT, is there two sides or is it just the front?
For now, it's only the front, but like we have actually written like lore, so a backstory for all the characters,
Nice.
all the workers. So I don't know where we ended up yet. I can see our dev, one of our devs is listening in also, but like for the future we might have like lore on the back side of the cards, because we're going to use the lore for something. We're just not sure exactly how we're going to use it yet, but that could be one thing, I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
So I do see that you have a total of 42,649 domesters currently in play.
Yep.
Is this an open mint where it just continually goes on, or is your mint capped? Meaning, is there a set limit that people can mint before you come out with another series or
um
season, I guess?
Not really. These are like the domesters, those. So one wallet connected basically is one domestor. So we had a very successful like TikTok campaign here in Sweden. So we basically got like 42,000 players in just like 2-3 weeks, which
Wow.
was absolutely insane. I think we were trending everywhere on TikTok, and we had like millions of views on our videos, which was absolutely insane. We were really happy about it, and we just see a lot of new players coming in, and they all loved it. And yeah, we were walking on clouds, the whole team. So that was really fun. But to answer your question, like we haven't really um, set like a cap or anything. We have discussed like the season thing, and we might do like seasons: summer, spring, winter, fall, maybe something like that. So like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 seasons per year. And I think we're gonna base it on um like we feel that we want to give something new to our audience when we're like releasing a new season, basically. So there's no like set cap or anything on that yet.
Nice. So looks like if we go to your website, we can buy any one of these NFTs. And I think you're what, at like 1.5 cents per DMC. Is that correct?
um yep.
Something, yeah, just over that. So essentially, people could come in and it looks like they could buy one of them for as little as like $2, right?
Yeah, like if you're looking at Gnarl, for example, I can do the math, of course. Even if it's
Yeah.
3:37 in the night, I can do math, and I will do that for you.
I could do the math too. I know it's super early for you.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It's sitting at around $2 at the moment. So like you can get started for a very low price. And like if you're looking at, for example, I don't know, Axie Infinity or any of these games that have been around for a while, it is very, very, very expensive to get started. And like this is also one thing that we had in mind when we started. So like very low effort and like reasonable price to actually get started.
Absolutely. And being
Oh,
on the Binance network, it makes sense to spend $2.30 because it might cost you, 5 cents to mint it, right?
yeah,
So it's not like it's on Ethereum where it's going to be, $10 just
no.
to yeah, do the transaction. So that's pretty cool. Um, and then the salary is based in DMP, the in-game token. And what is the exchange rate for DMP to DMC?
That's a very, very good question that we get a lot from like new players. And it all depends on like how much is in the reward pool and how much DMP is in circulation, I would say. However, we have done that a little bit differently. So for when we started, for example, if we had, let's say, we were actually having like a couple $100,000 distributed like every week. It was absolutely insane. Um, but for example, if, as I mentioned before, like you needed to have at least $2 worth of DMP to get airdrop to reward, and if you have had less than that, the DMP would be saved. However, before we took all the DMP in circulation and distributed all of the reward pool, even though like not all players have been um, like chipping in. So what we did is that, for example, now if only 40% of the DMP in circulation is above this DMP limit, we will only distribute 40% of the reward pool, and the rest of the reward pool will be saved. So this is also a step to make it easier for newer players to actually being able to get a part of this reward pool,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you have a limit, a cap of DMP at 2.7 million or just over. And as the pool accumulates, if only 40% of the people are active, then only 40% of that DMP is available to convert or transact with your DMC that is in the reward pool, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So essentially, if I did my math right, it is essentially about 8.3, 8.4 DMP per DMC. So you need like 8.5, we'll say, to get 1.5 cents,
Yeah,
right? So it's not
sounds about
totally
right.
unreasonable, right? It's not
No,
unreasonable. It's
no.
manageable. It's not like promising the moon. I like that. I like you're not telling people, yeah, play this game, you're going to get rich. Play it, turn, some passive DMC, and with the staking platform coming up, there'll be another option there for them to, have a possible outlet to gain returns.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that you're mentioning it, because like with most play to earns, that is not the case that you can build a house on the moon. But however, you can get a nice little side income with the staking, with our rewards sent out like weekly. So for sure, definitely. And I think um like what some people also realized after just a very short amount of time actually is that what's good to do as a new player is to actually uh, upgrading your workers, because maybe spend a couple weeks or something not saving your DMP to get reward pool, but instead actually upgrading your workers to get that salary boost. Because when you do, there's exponentially you will earn more DMP. So it makes sense to take a little bit of time to actually upgrade your workers, because that's going to make it easier for you to actually reach this DMP limit that you need.
Right. So when they let's say I buy Gnarl, right?
Yeah,
He cost me $2.30 some, and his current salary is 1.2 DMP per 45 minutes, right?
yeah,
And every time that 45 minutes ends, I have to be able to go in there to send him back to work. Otherwise, he doesn't go on his own, right? It's not
that is
automated.
correct. That's correct.
Right. So that means that, everybody is going to be down a portion of the day because of the day job or sleeping or, family affairs or whatever. So you're not going to be able to do this 24/7, or at least most people can't. Um,
No.
but, with that, if that salary that he has coming in, if I choose to take that and use that to upgrade him, then that upgrades the actual NFT to a higher salary, higher stats, and it automatically sends that DMP back to the original pool, correct? Or
The
does the
DMP
project
basically
collect a.
just the DMP actually just if you're upgrading it, it basically just burns up. It disappears. Like the DMP, the domestic points.
Right. So, but they don't. If you have a hard cap on that at 2.7, I mean, if that supply is reducing, how is it that kind of reduces the sustainability of the rewards, right?
So like the DMP in circulation, that's the DMP that players actually have accumulated and actually have in their wallet, so to say. So for example, when you're upgrading your characters, that DMP amount is basically burned.
Okay. So then DMP is then not deflationary. You're consistently minting more, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That explains it. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. So no, that's cool. And does the DMP automatically, get created as needed, or is it, on a cycle like every, quarter, you guys add an extra million DMP to the pool?
It's actually created like in the database when the worker has finished its work, so it's automatic. There's maybe like a second delay or something when the worker returns, but like it's received automatically,
Gotcha.
instant.
Yep. And it's, yeah, so everyone understands this. This is an in-game token. It is generated. It actually, on its own, has no liquidity pool or
No.
value. It actually has to be exchanged within the platform of domestic collectors to actually exchange it for the DMC token, in which then you have a token that has a liquidity pool backing it. Just as clarification. So,
Thank you, very good.
yeah, no problem. So I'm going to open up the floor for questions. Simon, is there anything you want to add that we might have missed?
Just a fun thing that we actually released, let me see, yesterday. So maybe a lot of you have played CSGO and other games like that, when you can open cases to get specific skins or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something you're familiar with? Yeah, cool.
Yep.
So, when you bought a worker before from the shop, it just popped out into your domestic page. Super easy. However, we have received a lot of people requesting that we should have some sort of revealing, unboxing, or something like that. So, of course, we went to our dear friend Andrea, who designed a really, really sick box. So, when you buy a worker from the shop, it pops up in the little demony box in the bottom right corner, and you press that little box, and the worker reveals, and you will see. You won't see it in your domestic page until you click that little box. So you will see what rarity you got. So that's just one of the things that we implemented due to suggestions from our community. And Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to add. We're really happy about that feature.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, I'm going to just say anybody has a question here for Simon or for me with Heroes, just please request to speak. We'll bring you up. But to add on to that, I really like the whole idea of what you built here. It is kind of it's very interactive, something that keeps the community excited and involved. And yeah, I mean they're cool little cards that I'm looking at and thinking that maybe I'm going to pick up one or two, or three or four. But
Sounds cool, man.
yeah, because they're, at the price that they're at, I mean, it's really not that bad. One thing I will recommend to everybody that is looking at doing these play to earn games, I believe, Simon was, introduced to me by a very reliable source. However, I still go by this rule. If you're going to connect your wallet to anything, create a new wallet and add the funds that you need in that wallet so that if for any reason there is any issues with that, or it may not be a legitimate, you're not throwing your entire bag to people to steal. Not, and again, not saying Simon is, like I said, he's been introduced to me by a very reliable source, but it's just a standard rule of thumb for myself. There's been projects in my time in this space that seem to be legitimate, and several months later, all of a sudden, they're running off with everyone's money. So, just protect yourself, and that's probably the best way to get into any kind of play to earn game is create a wallet, put in the funds you need to, engage in that process so that you're not giving the keys to your kingdom, essentially, right? I mean,
No, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Definitely.
So, I mean, that those are just my thoughts. And you said your other dev is in here. Did they want to come up and speak?
I'm not gonna answer for him, but he will probably write to me now because I see he's here. So, it's actually our main developer, our Web3 and the Solidity developer. Um, he's been working as a system engineer for God knows how long, and like setting up bank environments and everything. So super super talented, and he's also one of my very very close friends. So I'm very happy that he brought me on board on this. Uh,
Nice.
he hasn't written anything yet, but let's see. Just one thing that I wanted to add, actually, for the people listening in, and also for you, of course. I don't know if you're familiar with Gleam. Do you know what it is?
Um, I've no, I don't. I'm going to just say I don't.
All right, cool.
It's familiar, but I don't. I'm not. Go ahead.
No problem. So, it's basically just a platform where you can create events like giveaways or raffles or contests, and we actually have one live just now. So, for you guys who think this is interesting, who just maybe just want to get a chance to get some workers for free or get some DMC for free, um, just uh, just join in on that domestic collectors raffle. So by just basically visiting our Instagram, follow us on Twitter, um, watch one of our TikToks, visit our YouTube videos, or buying DMC, you will earn tickets by doing these little tasks, which won't cost you anything. And by having more tickets, you have a bigger chance of getting one of the prizes. And we actually did very, very nice prizes for this. So if I can share the link to the raffle, I would be
Ab-
happy to.
Absolutely.
I will do that.
Yep. Um, yeah, no, that's great. So the dev that created this, he created the all the coding for the game as well as the NFTs and the facility or the actual contract itself for the token.
Yeah, so we have two back-end engineers, and then we have one front end. So and one of the back-end developers, he's the one who made like the smart contract, both for like the workers and also now for the talents, so to say. So he's the one who made the smart contracts.
Nice. Yeah, so that's good to hear that it's all in house, right?
It
The
is.
team has created everything front end, back end, and yeah, what you built is definitely cool. I like it.
So I will send you the Gleam link. I If you want to share it somewhere or look into it yourself. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think I think our dev is racing ahead. Maybe.
maybe I don't see it. All he has to do is request to speak, and I'll bring him up. Yeah, no, I like that. Here site cannot be reached. Hmm,
That's weird.
that
I'll
is
try.
weird.
I'll have to try it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, let me just do this. Yeah, it's not working.
That's
But
very
you
weird.
but you
Working for
can,
me.
is it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I will look into it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a new one.
Well, or send me a new one.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but we get it working. I'll share it. Absolutely.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, absolutely. So no, I like everything you guys are building. I think it's pretty cool. The cards alone are pretty neat to have just as a collectible in your NFT collection. Let alone the possibility that you can interact with them and advance them to higher levels to potentially earn more return and get a couple bucks back. So no, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, for sure. We are really really happy with what we have created. Definitely, and we're happy to see like a lot of active players, like basically all day around. It's really fun.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, you gotta love that, right?
yeah, and our dev also typed here to mention that the workers come in two different looks as well. So when you buy them at level 0, they have one look, and when you reach level 50, it's cool 2.0. They get really really badass. So make sure to check that out.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, and we'll get that link figured out, and as soon as you do, I'll share it.
Cool.
But yeah, so any closing statements? Because it seems like no one wants to come up and ask a question.
Our dev says that he's taking care of his son who's awake also. So
Hey,
that's
no
what he
worries.
says.
Hey, I've been there. I've done that. And yeah, family first, right? That's key. But no, I do want to say I appreciate you guys coming on, and like I said, any closing statements before we call it a night? Because I know it's super early, and I'm sure you want to go back to bed.
No, so I basically just want to say thank you so much for having us. And if you have any questions at all, I mean, just join our Telegram, our Discord. Uh, just tag me. I'm Ash at. You'll find me. I'm Dunder Hesten. So just find me. Ask any questions. Tag me. Open a ticket. We have a lot of things coming up here in the very near future. So make sure to check that out. The team is always open to questions. We're very transparent, and it's important for us to be answering questions. Um, that's what I want to say, and what I say within our own AMAs in Discord is stay domestic. Thank you so much.
Nice, absolutely. And I want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing your project with us. I think it's really cool. I think everyone that's listening to this and participating in this space should definitely at least go check you guys out. The website is domesticcollectors.com. Pretty cool. You can see all the different NFTs that they have, the auction, what's in the shop, how they can be leveled up, and then you can also engage in the game on there as well. Always protect yourself and do your own research. And as always, we will be here every week sharing, new or different or even veteran projects with the community, just to enlighten them to other projects that are in the space, because we believe in diversifying your portfolio. And we're not saying every project that we bring on is one you should invest in. We're saying they're one you should look at and potentially engage with. But that is totally up to you. You have to make that decision for yourself. And, Simon, I appreciate you coming on, and, would definitely love to have you on our YouTube platform at some time in the future if you want to.
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
course, we would do it at a earlier time or for me, earlier time, but a later time for you. So you're not like waking up in the middle of the night to talk to us and share your project. Cause that is diligence and effort right there. That says a lot about your project, that you got up at 3 a.m. to talk to us and share with the community about domestic collectors. So I do appreciate you, and thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much for having us. And of course, we do it for the community. We want to share domestic collectors with the world. So it's worth it. I mean, sleep I can do whenever. So uh, 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 totally
Yep.
worth it.
Absolutely. Again, thank you, Simon, and thanks everyone for participating, and everyone that's listening in later on. Um, you know, Definitely check them out, and also take a look at hero-universe.com, Heroes Token. We have a ecosystem that we're developing that is just, yeah, we've been working hard at it, and everything from real world products to, crypto staking, NFTs. We've got the gambit. So, thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.